Welcome to Pilbology. This is a beginner's level video that can be found in the beginners section on the YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about the verb haben. So we've already had the verb sein, which means to be. Now we're looking at the verb to have. There's a particular reason why we're focusing on sein and haben, and that will become apparent in some later videos. It's very, very important for your stepping stones to perfecting your German grammar that you understand how and when to use sein and haben. These are probably the two most important verbs you're going to come across whilst learning the German language. Okay, so I have conveniently for you conjugated, which means I have split it apart, the verb into the I, you, he, she, it, we, you plural, and they forms, and I have stuck them over here. This is because we're going to be building sentences over here. Now, when we are using the verb haben, we often say I have a cat or I have a house. Let's get those two out of the way quickly. Normally we would do it the other way around. We start with the masculine. I'll show you why we're not going to do that. Let's have ein Haus. Let's also have eine Katze. Slightly different pink than we normally use. Right. So over here, these ones that I'm wiggling, that creates a sentence. So whichever one of these forms over here that you use, the first, second or third person singular, or the first, second and third person plural, you've created a sentence. So, hat ein Haus. Sie haben eine Katze. They have a cat. Wir haben eine Katze. Ich habe eine Katze. Ihr habt ein Haus. You have a house. Nothing changes. What you'll notice here is that if we look at this really grammatically for a second, the subject of the sentence is over here. Okay, that's these puppies here. So if I start a sentence, I am 12 years old, I am 15 years old, I am 35 years old, I am 52 years old. I is the subject. So the I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, subject. The verb is obviously this one here. So now if you've got a subject and you've got a verb, the subject is kind of like, it's a thing, isn't it? Well, we've got two things now in the sentence, here and here. Now with the neuter, the das words, and the feminine, the die words, there is no change to these. However, if I wanted to say Hund, woof woof, dog, I cannot say Ich habe ein Hund. The reason I cannot do that is because there's an ending missing. Now, this might initially sound slightly confusing, but it's actually quite simple. Here, we would just simply add an en ending. That's it. Simple. So this is why it's important in German to know whether a word is neuter, feminine, or masculine. In this case, we've written these upside down. It's normally masculine, feminine, neuter, but it doesn't really matter. It's important because where the position of the word, the position of this particular noun in the sentence dictates whether or not it gets this ending. So if it's a der word, then you know there's going to be a change to it. If it's a D word or a das word, it's not going to have a change to it. It's important to learn them. So don't just learn, oh, Hund means dog, Katze means cat, and house is house. It's important to learn that it's das Haus, die Katze, der Hund, or der Mann, for this very reason. And then you will not ever get caught out. It is that simple. So that is the verb haben. Incidentally, these are called, I'll find a different colour to go with over here. Let's go with this one. This is called the direct object. I've mentioned the direct object before when I was talking about definite articles and indefinite articles and how sometimes they change. That's in another video which is entitled Definite Articles. There's another one for indefinite articles. But that's it. This here is known, this change here, this is known as the accusative case. Alright, so the accusative case. Accusative, and I'll write it for you in English as well. Accusative. Okay, the accusative case. It doesn't matter why it's called that, you just have to be able to recognize it. You recognize it in that there's a subject and there's a verb. Those two normally go together, whether it's this way round or the other way round. And then the other item that's being mentioned in these simple sentences here is a direct object. So if I wanted to say, at home, I have a cat, the I is still the subject and the cat is still the direct object. It is what I have. Alright, that is the accusative case, and that is the rule for conjugating haben. So whenever you're being asked a question, oh, what do you have? What's in your room, or what's in your car, or I have a bed in my room, or I have a dining room table in the dining room. I have a chair in the lounge. Okay, this is the setup that we're looking for. Right, so if you found the video helpful, like, subscribe. If you didn't find it helpful, you can click dislike. But if you do, try and leave a comment. It's always helpful for me to try and improve these videos and make them more accessible for everybody. The great thing about these videos is that you can pause them, rewind them and work at your own speed. If you have any more questions, obviously you can either ask me or you can ask your regular German teacher. Okay, see you next time.